What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Today, we are cruising on Horizon Worlds. We're gonna make something. Make our own thing in Horizon Worlds. Make sure all the streams, everyone's getting the streams. Say what's up in the chat. How's it going? Let's see. Twitch is the only one not showing up. What's going on? What's up, Peaceful Chaos? Surfy, welcome back. Let me refresh Twitch. Ah, there we are. Twitch is always the reliable one. All the other ones I'm concerned about. Cool. All right, yeah, today we are working on something interesting. We're not gonna be in Unity today. We're gonna be trying out the new Horizon Worlds desktop editor. And I'm a little nervous because I'm very rusty in TypeScript, which is what the main programming language for this is. I'm actually kind of excited about it because this is going to be the oh, thanks for the follow. Who is that? Viking Lover, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, so today we're trying out Horizon Worlds. We're gonna I opened it up yesterday, 2 days ago, when they did the announcement, just to see, just to like kind of dip my toe in the water. I didn't really build anything. I kind of started down one of their tutorial projects and I thought, you know, this is gonna be something that y'all would want to see, that y'all would want to discover with me. What's up, Gridstone? Welcome in. You're hopping to Twitch to help me out. Thank you, Peaceful Chaos. Is that who you are, Viking Lover? Is that who you are on both? Yeah, okay, sweet. You and your roommate's channel, you guys share the same YouTube channel? You know, if you get YouTube Premium, you can send that to, I think, 5 people you can have on your YouTube Premium account. A lot of people don't know that. You can have a lot of people on your YouTube Premium account. And YouTube Premium is so worth it because you get 0 ads on YouTube, by the way. Selfless plug, shameless plug. There's no plug. I don't get any money from them. What's up, baby? You gonna hang out with me? Yep. she's gonna hang out with us. Yeah, so we are gonna be in Horizon Worlds, building for Horizon Worlds, and it's in TypeScript. That's about a year ago, I think, is the last time I used TypeScript. So we'll see we'll see how this goes. So you can actually only download it from this side. The what is this thing called? The Meta Desktop, or the MetaLink application. This is MetaLink. Yes, MetaQuest Link. You have to have that downloaded and, you know, your headset all set up. The same application you connect your computer to your headset with. You have to download it here. And then you have to download the Meta Horizon Desktop Editor Early Access is what it's called. And you download it from the MetaLink app. So we're gonna launch that. And I have played around with this just ever so briefly. Yes, continue. All right. Can you go full screen for me? There we go. And I have started their intro dealio. So this guy, I started this one, playing around with it, and I figured y'all would want to see this. So, oh, you guys upload videos on here. Are you in one of those houses, like the streamer houses or whatever they call it? The content creator houses, something like that. Your chaos and your roommate is peaceful. Okay. You think Meta's trying to become the Roblox of VR? I agree. I also agree. What's my favorite song? Goodness. So to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of music. The background stuff is just stream beats. It's just kind of like the background music that is copyright free. But I like the punk pop kind of stuff, and I also throw in like sea shanties every so often. So my playlist is pretty weird. It's like Linkin Park, and then we go to, gosh, here, let me look up my current playlist. So I don't do playlist by category anymore. I don't do that anymore. I just do year, every year. So 2023 January 1, 2025. Goodness, 2023. What am I saying? So 2025 January 1, I start a new playlist, and I just call it 2025 playlist. And all the songs that I find that I like through just this year go into that playlist. I don't do any kind of sorting anymore. I don't have like a country playlist and a chill playlist or whatever. It's just 2025. And so far we have Higher by Creed, Numb and Encore by Jay-Z and Linkin Park, The Sound of Silence by Disturbed, Mr. Brightside by The Killers. It's kind of wild. Thanks for the Memories, Fall Out Boy. Let's see. And then, yeah, a couple of like sea shanties in here, like Against the Tide from Sail North. There's one called Bones, also from Sail North. And so, yeah, I'll just start that playlist, and then I listen to that playlist every single time. And Spotify will give me their kind of auto sorted like mixes or whatever, where, you know, once it runs out of songs, it'll just, or every so often, it'll just kind of throw in a new song. And if I like it, I add it to the 2025 playlist, and that's just how I listen to music nowadays. Update my internal calendar. Yeah, it's wild. You have music that you've made. Yes, sea shanties are the way to go. Strands. Oh, you've been using the editor for 2 months. It's a good tutorial world is the zombie shooter in the desktop editor, and TypeScript intro is outdated. Okay, that's good to know. Because I was planning on today going through one of the, if not multiple of the demos. So a couple that I found is just in Meta's documentation, we've got some tutorial worlds. So you can do like the intro to desktop editor and TypeScript. We've got intro to scripting. This is like, actually the intro desktop editor and TypeScript is like the whole module, like that's all of them. And then it's like step 1, step 2, step 3 is like kind of the project. And then this one kind of just gets deeper and deeper. So they got, actually this is just a bunch of tutorial worlds. So will it just show me all of the tutorial worlds? I would like that. I don't think it will. Just showing it to me over here on this corner that I can't expand. Mr. Brightside. Yeah, Mr. Brightside does. It makes me feel some emotions. That's what I like, songs that like really punch me, like really get me, you know, some kind of, and usually I'll listen to it while I'm working. So I want it to be, generally they're more upbeat and just kind of like something I can get going in the background while I'm working and stuff. And then every so often I'll like turn it back up, turn it back down, as the mood, you know, when it gets to a part where I'm like, all right, I need to focus. And then I'll turn it back up and we'll keep going. But it's you think better when the music's off, and so every so often I'm like, all right, I need to do math. So now it's time for complete silence. Sometimes I have where'd they go? My child might have carried them off. But I have earplugs, like those like little foam squishy earplugs that I literally, if I just want to go hardcore focus, I'll put the foam earplugs in, and then put on top of that the noise canceling headphones, and that actually works wonders. Like I like hardcore focus whenever that happens. Also, I have my little ducky to problem solve with. You talk to the duck, a rubber duck debugging, if you've ever heard of that. If you're a true programmer, sometimes you just gotta talk your ideas out, which is actually why streaming like this helps significantly. So if you can stream for your job, I doubt most jobs would allow it. If you like work from home and your code isn't like proprietary, stream your side projects. It kind of helps you think through stuff. So anyway, we've got a couple options for like stuff we can do in this batting cage tutorial. Looks interesting. No, that's not what I wanted. So this is like a whole batting like tutorial where we go through and it walks you step by step how to basically what I want to do today. We've got 2 hours. I'll usually stream for about 2 hours. I want to see if we can get like a finished world out. Like what is the process like for creating some kind of world? Because I'm actually kind of excited about this because of the TypeScript element. Like I think creating worlds for Horizon Worlds was a little difficult and a little underwhelming because you had to do everything in VR. And so that means, and so inherently typing in VR is just very difficult, very hard to do and do a lot of, which if you're going to make a game and have it be kind of complex and a lot of systems going, it's going to be very difficult to code all of that in VR, especially. So the introduction of TypeScript and a desktop editor, I am very intrigued about because I see it very promising. Stop distracting Justin, we're here to work. Yes, this if you're here on Thursday, I got like that much actual work done because you guys had me talking the whole time. But that's why I do this, is so I can hang out with you guys too. But speaking of, where was I? What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, adding TypeScript. So now that they've added TypeScript, you can literally do just about anything. And so any kind of functionality we can kind of create, and we have a lot of underlying systems. Like they have the whole character system. We don't have to worry about interactions, I don't think, or hand interactions. So this is kind of just feeling this out. Like, how is this going to be? Should we maybe potentially start building worlds like in Unity or in not in Unity, in this new like desktop editor? I've actually been thinking, is a good approach going to be making a free game? What's up, Levi? Welcome in. Is a good approach to this, a good strategy for seeing if a game is going to work, make a free version of it in Horizon Worlds, make the world, make like a kind of a demo of whatever game you're making, whatever kind of game mechanic, as long as the mechanics are feasible in Horizon Worlds. Like I'm not quite sure what all we're able to do. Can we do 0G? Can you do movement based on hands? Is movement only like, you know, your default teleport and thumbstick move? Like what are the capabilities of this? And is a good strategy going to be make a demo of your game in Horizon Worlds and see how it does? Do your demo in Horizon Worlds, and then when you do a full-on publish, then you can go the side quest app lab route, or not app lab anymore, but side quest to the Metastore early access and then Metastore, because you've already proven it, you've tested it. So if you build, so that would mean we end up building 10, 15, 20 different worlds inside of Horizon Worlds. We've picked the best one, whichever one does the best. So, you make a batting cage, you make, what, like all your ideas, just kind of make them really, really quick. Use the tools that Horizon Worlds has given you. Make a bunch of free worlds, see which one does the best, see which one like people like the most. You can kind of like monetize it a little bit. So inside of here, they have different monetization options. Like you can have private worlds, I think, where there's like some kind of membership where you can give people access, and so you can do some kind of membership type of thing. Or there's in-app purchases, basically, is like what a lot of people I think are going to do. And then if it does well, you make your own standalone version that's like really polished and good, and you've already done the user testing. I'm curious to see like if that would be a good strategy for all this. Can you import Unity assets, or do you need to get some kind of converter? So you can import, if you're talking about like models, you can import any FBX, which is interesting. So like you can bring whatever you want into the world. So here, I'll show you guys, we'll jump over the editor. We're going to open up the intro to TypeScript, kind of like see what's in there. You're on the website. How do you make it dark? I have a extension. It's called Dark Reader. And this makes any website that's, you know, not already dark mode. So this is how it normally looks. Blinding. And this is how it looks with my extension. So that's on Chrome and Firefox and everywhere. So most of the documentation for these are weird. Like they teach you how to not to do stuff instead of teaching you useful things. The zombie world has code comments and feels like it's written by a professional. Okay, that's good. So maybe we'll try out the zombie demo. Let's see, did I miss any comments? Did I miss anybody? Meta Horizon World games were so bare they didn't let us have the freedom that Roblox does. I think this is going to give you the freedom. This app right here. Because the main reason is because TypeScript. Because you can code, you can add your own code. So this player manager here is I was kind of like walking through this. Ooh, this is new. Gen AI. Adding in sound effects, ambiance, and script. Okay. And you can like just type in stuff. All right, wait, what should we do? What should we build here? Do it. All right, chat, give me a direction to go. What should we try to build? Should we try to just like recreate the VR Creator Club stuff with the county fair? Should we try to recreate like a, you know, really simple ring toss game like we did in there? Should we try to make a zombie game, zombie shooter type of game? What should we make? I'll leave it up to you. We'll see. All right, how can I open this Gen AI window if I accidentally remove it? That's the like, I don't, okay, here it is. So if I exit out of here, I can just, that's another thing is I don't know how this editor works. So we may have to do a little bit of playing around. Okay, let's put myself up here, reposition a bit, move you all over here. Cool. All right, so we're gonna try this out, see how this works. Giant checkers, bowling, basketball, a zombie shooter. Make avoid and destroy floating orbs. Sparkles. Oh, the sparkles icon. Yes. All right, cool. Yeah, that's the Gen AI button. Can I move it? As I already kind of hate this editor because I can't like resize and move windows. Like I want this properties thing to be over here or this to be able to be dragged over here. I already hate how things are positioned and I hate how it doesn't let me reposition things. You've been testing how to do realistic lighting. That would be powerful, I think, is the realism, because that's something that is missing. And you can import your own FBXs. That I do know. So like we have my assets here, and so you can save assets here. I don't know how to import stuff. We could just like try willy-nilly to add things. Also, there's an asset library in here, so we can just add in, like we can type in like an axe. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. What about a house? Oh, this is just featured stuff. What if I interactive? Axe. Is there like a search all? I want to just search everything. Oh, weapons. Axes. There we go. Okay, interesting. Yeah, good stuff. You already made me an axe. Maybe we should try to bring yours in. Yours doesn't have materials. I don't know how to add materials to things in here though. That's another problem. Goodness. All right. Maybe we should go through a tutorial first, or else I'm just gonna be flailing around. There's no editor script like in Unity. Yeah, so this player manager is a script that I created. This is like a manual script. I don't want to rename it. And so we're editing it over here. And let me make it a little bit bigger for y'all. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Okay. And so this is like our start method, but this is all in TypeScript, which is I'm not super familiar with. But how do you get to that? How do you get to what? You can only resize the assets in console height. That's annoying. Yeah, this is what I want to resize, or I want to reposition everything so it's in the way I like it. Okay, so we got an asset library. Let's just kind of go through and like explore first. So we've got the settings menu, so we can return creation home. So this will bring us back and let us edit a new world if we want to. We've got logs, launch the TypeScript editor, which I think there is a web-based version of this, but they do suggest you having your own like on your computer because that just works better. That's something that I would also recommend. So we can publish this world, rename it, save a backup, go look at more backups, export geometry. That's interesting. So like we can create something with the existing assets and then export the geometry of the entire world. Interesting. Or one-off objects maybe. There's keyboard shortcuts. Love me some keyboard shortcuts. Looks like it's all just the standard stuff. Report a problem, help us improve. Reposition windows, please. Cool. already filed an edit or an update. If you're asking how to get to this, you have to go to your MetaQuest link app and then download and start it using your MetaQuest link app, the Meta Horizon desktop editor world or editor early access application. And then you have to log in. There's like a little bit of a process. All right. So this little like tutorial I was doing, my goal was we've got like 5 different emeralds around the scene. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then yes, if you do press F, it will focus, which is good. And I was trying to make it so that when you go around and pick up all the emeralds, that's the general idea for this little game. And so maybe we'll just follow this tutorial for a little bit. It was this one. We're doing intro to scripting. That's what we were doing. And so creating your first script. So we went, so I already went through this one. So this is like the kind of desktop editor overview. And this is just the developers.meta Horizon Worlds learn documentation. I don't remember how I got here. It was probably somewhere in the actual like editor. What's up, Beard or Die? You plan to do that? Well, you could just watch me and you learn how to do it. Perfect. There we go. So I went through this one and this was just like the basic setup for this. And so it was like, here's what we're going to teach you and all that kind of stuff. So they've got a bunch of tutorial worlds here. So there's like just editor and TypeScript, which I probably need to do. And then there's multiplayer and lobby controls. So you can do a little bit of multiplayer control, it looks like, which is nice. And then Meta is also going the direction of they want all of these worlds to be accessible via mobile as well. So not just VR. So, and web. So mobile, web, and VR, which is a big ask. And so basically you're gonna have to also account for your world. If you want your world to be accessed in the most ways possible, you're gonna have to account for, all right, how does a non-VR player interact with my world as well as a VR player at the same time? So that's going to be interesting. And then, okay, so these are just 2 of the same thing. Spawning, pooling in TypeScript, custom UI. So we're doing the first one. We're going through this first tutorial. I feel like I should probably go through this first tutorial just because I am very rusty on TypeScript. And so we're gonna have to like jump in. So the idea of this one is we've got a bunch of emeralds around the world. We need to run around and, oh, there's a learn button. So if you go to the Horizon website, there's a learn button. Yes, this one. There we go. So if you go to developers.meta.com, click on learn, you can get here. tutorial worlds. And it like, this is like the, basically just the setup process. And I'm just going through the documentation right now. All right. And so yes, it's already a little bit out of dated because this little dealio right here does not look like this. This is different. That does not look the same. Like, where's my little running guy? Am I the running dude? Switch to VR. Like, what's going on here? Already not a great first impression. All right. Why does it have so many 1-star reviews? Does the app itself have a bunch of 1-star reviews? Because that's kind of hilarious. Let's see. I want to like go to the store page. I can't see it. Oh wait, yeah, let's go to store. Meta Horizon Worlds. Desktop editor. it's like barely breaking 2. Oh boy. People are not happy. This is mostly garbage. Big circle of jerks. Ridiculous. Doesn't work at all. So this is October of last year, September, August, September, October. A lot of those are older reviews. No, I don't want to write a review. I just want to look at the reviews. Is that all of them? Do we no. Okay, so those are just the reviews that have been written. People can just like click on the stars and give it 1 to 5. Most people did 1 star. It's a little awkward. All right. See how they overcome this. I think a lot of those were older, or at least the written ones. They're a little older. So I think they've had this open up for a little bit, but they didn't actually do a full public announcement until now. So hopefully it's a little bit better. All right, so we're going through this. We want to make so right now, if we go into the world, we can hit play. And I've got my dude in here. He's a little skinny. I had to go update my dude. He's not quite looking like I do, right? Doesn't match up. All right, so we can run around, but the problem is the gems don't actually do anything. So I can like run around, I can sprint, I can jump. All of that's built in, which is nice. I do like that. And then I haven't actually tested to see if this works in VR either. So let's hit escape, go out, and then we'll plug my headset up into link mode here. Stand by. Come on, do your thing. Nice. I love the auto to link mode setting. One of the best ones. Yeah, editor was early access until last week. Well, it's still listed as early access, but now it's like just open. It's open to everybody. So Meta is giving out $50 million of funds. All right, switch to VR. That button doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe we have to be in play mode first. Play. Okay, well, all right. It's thinking. Okay, maybe we're in VR. Oh God. Oh, is this edit mode in VR? What's going on? Oh, this is, oh, okay. Hold on. This is different. Wait. Settings. No. All right, I am confused. How do I get back? I want to go back to like whatever the mode I was just in. All right, go away. Okay, yeah, this. Ooh, okay. So this is like your old school, what they originally had, the like kind of world editor deal. So we can like, grab things and move them around somehow. I never actually worked. I think I built like one little app for fun just to try it, but it didn't actually work out that well. Okay, so I can like grab things maybe. This was the problem. It was like always just way too finicky. I can't like grab things. All right, so I don't actually want to do this. Let's jump to our dude. Okay, so this is like, all right, now we're in testing mode. So I can like walk around, I can jump, I can sprint. All right, so it's like the same functionality as the other deal. Sweet. All right, now how do we get out of this? Let me leave. No. Quit app. There we go. All right, so we can test in, whoa, was my screen doing anything? Yes, I also hate tunneling vignette. We might turn that off next time. All right, did you like minimize yourself? Where'd you go? What's going on? Did you just end? I killed it. I killed the app. I hit quit app in VR and I just killed it on my computer. So that's fun. Can't get out. We can't exit that way. We have to exit a different way. Yes. So this editor will only make games inside of VR. Inside of, well, their goal is not to be in VR. Their goal is to be on the web, on mobile, and in VR, all at the same time. Very ambitious. So, what did we learn here? That Justin has no idea how to use this. All right, so let's go back to, oh, that's not what I wanted. This one and that button. There we go. All right, so we're over here. We can use WASD to move, spacebar to jump, press escape to leave. I've done that. I've gone through and duplicated. If you exit in VR, you exit in real life. This is true. If you in VR press quit app, it does kill it on your computer, which is annoying. Yeah, so I will have to in the future exit from the desktop using mouse and keyboard, I believe, if I can't find the thing. Oh, what's up, El Deltas? Do you have the delts? Well, thanks for the follow. 2 days ago, there was a coworker in your world made the editor crash and it deleted 2 scripts on your entities. Okay. Were the scripts like local? Like you can have scripts locally. Like this is just on my computer. Did it delete those? You don't have delts yet? You should work on that. Delts are great. This is where I need to go. I need to update my character because my dudes. I went in and edited my character like yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was like, all right, let's go for like wider shoulders because I like kind of generally I'm like 6'3" and I've got like pretty wide shoulders and like a muscular build, but this guy's like this is not it. I don't think it looks like me either. Like the hair is like, we'll have to do that at a different time. All right, so also you can turn the world sim off. What does that even mean? The world should always be simulating when I'm in play mode. I don't want to understand. All right, let's code things. So I've done that. I made all the dealios pop around. What's the next step? Module 2, intro to scripting. Okay, so we created our first script. So we went over here, we hit it's not in the same spot because this tutorial is outdated. When did this get made? I don't know if it had a date on it. I didn't see a date. This tutorial, at least the screenshots are outdated because things are never where they say they are. Okay, so we have to hit the little code deal and then hit plus. Let's see if that's in the same spot. Code deal plus. Okay, cool. And so I have created this player manager and it does create a local file on your computer in a, I wonder, yeah. So, and then if you hit the little 3 dots, you can hit open an external editor and then it'll pop it open in whatever editor you want. We are using the good old Terminal and NeoVim as my editor because I love it. I use JetBrains Writer for C# Unity coding because it just plugs in with Unity so good, and I tried to get the terminal, like just NeoVim, working with Unity, and it does not like C#. So, but it works really good for TypeScript, so we're using it for TypeScript. Is the Horizon worlds related to the metaverse stuff? So yes, this is Meta's play at creating their own metaverse. And so we are the people who create the user generated content, the worlds, also upload files and models and create the interactions and stuff that people can then download and use in their other worlds, or purchase as a user and a player to have in your virtual inventory or whatnot. And then the idea here is to have infinite worlds and be able to bounce like portal from world to world and whatever, and they create their own metaverse. And so, this year they've announced yesterday, 2 days ago, that they are pouring $50 million into this. So if you create a world that's good, actually let's go look at is it this one? Yes. So they have bonuses. So this is their bonus program. So each world has a max monthly limit of 250,000, which is so sad because, I was really hoping for a limit of, more than 250,000 every month, but you can't have it all. And so we've got 4 types of bonuses. So we have time spent on the mobile, time spent on headset, retention in world, and in-world purchases. So for each bonus, you get a monthly based on a pool. So basically they've set aside in their head, they've come up with a number. We're going to give $1 million this month for people who have, who have spent the most time in their world, or worlds plural if you have multiple. And so the retention bonus is going to be given out to people who have 100 or more weekly visitors, which actually doesn't sound too difficult. Just get 10. So if you have 100 more weekly visitors, so you're going to need, what is that, 12, 11? Wait, it's 7 times, no, let's do some math here. 7 times 12, 7 times 15. Oh, somebody give me the actual number. You have something like 14, 15 people per day jumping in your world, which if it's a decent world, then I feel like that's not too difficult. So the goal here is like, eventually I want to build a world, maybe in the near future. Maybe we're gonna pause the VR Creator Club updates and build our own metaverse world. I mean, we might try that. If your weekly visitors are above 500, your contribution is multiplied. They don't say multiplied by what, but it is multiplied. And if it's above 1,500 people every week, you've got another multiplication. All right. And then the next bonus is if people in your world spend more than 150 hours. So it could be one person spending 150 hours in your world. So maybe just leave your headset plugged in, hanging out in your world for the whole time. The next time is, no more tutorials? Oh, I'm definitely doing tutorials. You talking about me? Strants, you're using their file-baked system to get rid of the script gizmo in scene. Don't delete those, they actually delete your scripts. Yes, that is a very important note. I did try that. When you create a script, it actually literally creates the script in your scene here. And it creates this stupid box in here. And that's the actual script. It represented in world. So don't delete that. It also allows to assign scripts to an asset template. Okay, so you can create templates kind of like a prefab. All right, that's good to know. We're figuring this out. I don't know how any of this editor works. Can you develop an entire game inside of the platform? Yes, Joel, you can. that is the idea. And they just released this publicly 2 days ago, and you can use TypeScript. So we're writing in TypeScript. So this is my player manager, which has like a start function. I haven't quite figured out how to use that because I keep getting distracted, but we're going to, on this call, we're having a phone call. This is an interview. We're going to figure out how to do it. You can use 50 million. I could use 50. I could use one of the 50 million. I could use half of the 50 million. Like, honestly, like all of these kind of benchmarks and these bonuses don't sound too terrible. Like, it sounds pretty easy to meet, especially if they're going to be promoting it. So if you have like a good world, people start coming to it, kind of like a, you know, social media post. If you make a good post nowadays in today's social media algorithm, if you have 0 followers and you post a good TikTok, 100 million people could see that. It's just algorithm based on how good is it. And so I think if you make a good world, it's gonna be a similar algorithm that they show people, and that, you know, you've seen the meta store, you've seen how they've been pushing Horizon worlds, you know, the different worlds that people go to. And then in-app purchases is the last one. So this is actually a big one. In-app purchases. So normally on any store that you publish your game to, they're going to take 30%. So if you sell your game at $30, they're going to take $10 out of every sale. Or a little less than 30%. The in-app purchases, or any money you make inside of your Horizon worlds, Meta takes 47.5%. Because it is their platform and they are doing the marketing for you and hosting it for you and doing the multiplayer service, and so they take almost half of everything you make inside of these worlds. Another thing to keep in mind here. So basically they have plugged $100 or $50 million to go to like these bonuses, and so every single month they're going to do a payout of the top performers in each one of these categories, and based on how top in the performance rankings you're going to get a certain allotment. You're going to get a certain allotment of that amount of money for the month. And the month starts in March, I think. This next month it'll be the first month. So let's figure out how to build one of these bad boys. All right, so no, this is the batting cage tutorial. We are doing intro to scripting. So we've created a script. We need to figure out how to pick up gems. All right, so this is the kind of default that it gives you when you create a script. So we've got that. Make it a little bigger for y'all. I want to make it bigger, but I don't want I want it to be, move myself over a little bit. 52.5% of nothing is still nothing. No, 52.5% of nothing is, oh yeah, that's true. Are you going to worry about the mobile user version or just concentrate on being the best VR experience? So that's an interesting take. I think you're going to get a lot more mobile users. I don't know, actually. I don't know if you would get more VR users or mobile users. I'll probably start with like VR content ideas just because I'm a VR person at heart, and try those, and then kind of retroactively try to figure out how to make it mobile friendly, but like design first for VR. You're watching the stream in VR in a VR chat world. That's wild. It's a similar game, but people can create worlds in Unity, and it's been developed for more than 7 years. Yeah, so that's VR chat's like a crazy platform. And then there's also Roblox that you have to consider. Like that, they're literally just directly competing with Roblox, and also VR chat. I'm not quite sure. I've made like one basic world, which is basically I just put a kind of like a stage scene into a VR chat world. So I've never really gone into the depths of VR chat. Like I'm not quite sure how complicated with the scripting you can get and that kind of stuff. So if you can do more, it kind of depends on like, you know, how much more ability or leeway do you have in this kind of like TypeScript stuff, then VR chat is going to be whoever wins, I think. You can't import custom sound effects. Yeah, you can. Can you not? How do you import stuff? So you can like, there's an asset library. You can find sound effects. They have a bunch of, well, this is VFX, but I need to figure out how to import stuff because I do know you can import stuff. Interesting. Quest, leaderboards, commerce, variable groups, and navigation, all like pre-built stuff. That seems useful. Okay, so sounds. Okay, so these are like pre-made sounds. Interesting. Launch my horizon. But they have like this folder here with like my assets. So I wonder, like, you could upload like a sound effect to this, I'm sure. You can go really far in VR chat. I've seen a 7-hour adventure worlds with action and puzzles. That's actually really cool. It's also like, I don't know how far I can go in like this editor too. Like, can I do like a different kind of movement that's not just your basic walking around and teleporting? Like, can I do like a gorilla tag style movement? Can I do zero gravity? Like that would be game changing. And like, am I sure? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. We're going through the tutorial. I have no idea how any of this works. All right, so we added a player map. Okay, so it wants us to add this line of code. So we're gonna add this line of code right here. I think, no, not in the start, up here. So we're basically creating a list or a map of players and their numbers or their IDs. So this is like a dictionary in C#. It's a map. So we're basically so it wants us to declare this as a variable, go through and capture. All right, then we're going to create an event listener on start. So we're going to listen to when a on player enters the world in the start method. Okay. So add this to the start method. All right. I want you to align correctly, please. Thank you. All right, so this is the start method. So just like Unity, and then this connect code block event. I'm not quite sure what that does. What does that do? So it's a built-in function that takes 3 parameters: the entity, this code block event in which to listen, and a callback function that passes a player object. This is already complicated. This is Windows command prompt. This is my IDE. It's actually NeoVim. How long have I been developing VR stuff? I've been doing it since the Rift S. So I think like 2019 is when that came out. So 6 years now. That's kind of wild. And so I started making YouTube videos, I think in like 2020, about like VR tutorials and stuff. So the IDE seems very bulky. What do you mean bulky? Like the words are bulky? I mean, I can make it smaller, if that's what you mean. I just like scaled it up for y'all. This is it's called NeoVim. You can't like, oh, it's not bulky. It is very lightweight actually. Oh, it's literally like 3 files and that's my whole IDE. It's nice. I haven't used it in a minute, so I might be a bit sloppy, clumsy in it. I built this when I built a whole, it was like a AI newsletter app and in React, where like you could basically just give it a newsletter, and it would go in and like basically make more copies of like newsletters to send out based on like your previous ones. And it was pretty fun. It was a fun project, but I used this, and I loved it. I would use this if it worked, if it played nicely with Unity, but it does not. All right, so player manager, we have this connect code. All right, let's try to dissect this. So we have a connect code block event. It takes the parameters of the current entity, which is just going to be the player manager, I guess. And then it takes a horizon, the HZ horizon dot code block events dot on player enter world. So on this, it takes in this event, and then I guess this is what we want to happen when the event occurs. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And so when a player enters this world, we want to set, or basically add add a new map element, and it's going to be the player ID tied to the player object. And so that's going to be up here, this basically a dictionary with the ID of the player and then the actual player object. Apparently you can load Unity asset bundles. Not sure if you already said that. No, I did not know about that. That would be interesting. Now what would be really cool is if you could load Unity packages. That would be wild. Probably not. Okay, so yeah, basically did that, and then we're console logging. So add this console log, sure. Which is different than, or this is exactly the same as debug log, but this is TypeScript. Okay, and then to test this, we need to reinitialize the simulation if stopped. Click the play button, simulation begins, and then things should happen. Okay, cool. So we should just be able to hit play. Our player manager is here in the scene. It's this object. So we need to have this console here. Put myself up there. Hit play. Did it do it? Let's clear that. Stop it and restart. Nothing. Let's see, did I save this? That's a good question. All right, let's try this again. No. Cool. That already doesn't work. That's brilliant. All right, we have the player manager in here. Script execution is default. All right, go back and see if I missed any steps. There we go. Okay, so when we added the player manager, did I need to do anything else? All right, so we added the player manager. It added it like just dead center in the world. I edited it. Okay. Oh, we should just continue reading because it tells you the answer. Just kind of dumb. It's a trick, a trap. Okay. Nothing happened. It's not working. Nothing is being logged. The console is empty. I hate you, Unity. Just more and more. I hate you. Important. Console logging is an important tool for debugging purposes. Yes, I knew this. All right, so we need to attach the script to something. Scripts are attached to objects. We have not attached ours to a player manager. We haven't attached it to an object in the world. So in our case, the script does not apply to a specific object. So attaching it to, for example, one of the gems does not make sense. So instead, we're going to attach the object, attach it to an object that is not part of the gameplay experience. So now we got to place an empty game object. Okay, so it's just like Unity. If you want a game manager to run, you need to attach it to a game object, even if it's an empty game object. So we're just going to create an empty player manager object. They should have just told me that from the beginning. It'd be a whole lot simpler. Player manager, and then I'm sure down here, yep, attach scripts, player manager. Sweet. And then there's a visible check mark mark and a collidable checkbox, and we'll toggle both of those off. All right. Now, is there even a save button in here, or does it just like auto save? I hate it when it auto saves, like Google Drive and whatnot. Like I can't just do like Control S and have it save. It's just like kind of listening always in the background. It's very annoying. You were on the wrong API documentation page, so you can't load Unity asset bundles, is what you're trying to tell me? Told me about their weird way to explain things. Yes, that was kind of annoying. All right, now if we hit play, there we go. Player added. It was me. I'm the player. And then more things, but I can't see it because doesn't really. All right, we have to do this. That's annoying. Okay, tells me the line. A little stack trace there. Does it tell me the ID? Were we even logging the ID? I don't know. Did I mess up my? I think I messed up my. Hold on. Right there. Wait, a little too much. Beautiful. I have to line it up nicely. There we go. My OCD is gonna kill me. Why did we ever touch this? All right, there we go. You plan to scrape the entire documentation and get O1 to paraphrase everything in the personality style of Bob Ross? Yes, that would be hilarious. Please do that. You can load Unity bundles. You have to use a meta plugin on Unity to export the bundle to their server. You don't think all components are allowed? Okay. Interesting. So you could potentially upload prefabs, but of course, like none of the C# scripts are going to work. You're going to have to code your own scripts, which is annoying. Also, I would like this to reset on play. That would be annoying, or that would be useful, not annoying. I don't think there's a reset on play option for the console, which is sad. So many things. And then we're just gonna have two separate objects, even though I have a script. Can I drag and drop you? Okay, there we go. So this is like kind of like Godot, where you have like a separate object as a script, and then a separate object as like an entity, and then you have to combine them. But then also it's like Unity, where it doesn't work unless it's attached to an entity. And we're just taking the worst approach of all of these. That's the idea here. What's up, Victor? Do creators have to use this program, or do they make worlds with stuff like Unity? Nope, you have to use this one, which is very sad. Or you can do it in VR, but I don't think there is, unless chat prove me wrong if I am wrong, but I don't think there is an option to create a world for Horizon Worlds in Unity. Okay, so we did this. We didn't have to move it around because we just attached the script. We did all the things. We saw the log. Huzzah. Okay, now it wants us to do more things. So now we need to handle exit events. So yes. Okay, so it wants us to do it a little more properly now. So it wants us to, all right, let's type this out manually. Let's kind of knock the rust off of the TypeScript, JavaScript. Okay, so we basically need to, okay, that's not good. All right, so, oh, sad. Okay, we need to get this over here. We're gonna create a new method. Oh, it's been a while. All right, yeah, you just private the return types at the end. Yeah, so instead of like in C# you have this void goes here. In TypeScript, the void goes over here after a semicolon. So we do private handle connect code block event, or actually no, handle player entered. And then we do things, void, things, paste. And then the event comes with something. What does it come with? A player. Yeah, okay, so on handle enter. Oh, except this goes up here. Don't hate me, I'm rusty. Rusty in TypeScript for sure. All right, so then we're gonna call this dot handle player entered. I think my IDE is just not working. We'll get that figured out. Send the player. And then here we're gonna receive the player, and the player is going to be of type hz.player. I think that's how they have it set up here. Yeah. Okay. I think, does that all look right? Code blocks. No, this needs to also be up here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this makes sense. So we've got connect code block event. So we're basically just like registering event. That's what this is. And then we are registering the entity, the player manager. It just needs to know that. And then the event we want to listen to is on player enter world. And then we're going to get the player variable. And then this dot handle player entered is the function we're going to call, because they're called functions in TypeScript, not methods. And then handle player entered, we're accepting the player, and then it wants us to validate it. So so we need to check to see if the map already has it. So if what are we calling it? Player map. How do we check if this dot player map has? This dot player map does not have. So this is on enter. So if we don't already have this player listed in the map, then has player player.id. Oops. Yeah, this would be a lot easier if my IntelliSense was working. If we don't have, then we return. Something like that. Okay, yeah. So I'm just doing an early return. They're doing an if statement. That's fine. Okay. And then we want to do the same thing. Why are you complaining? All right, do the same thing, but on player exit world. I might swap over to, do I even have it installed? JetBrains. I might swap over to WebStorm for now. I need to come back and get my old NeoVim working correctly again. All right, are you installing? Where are you? Install. Authorization. I have to log in. Oh man. Okay, we'll just copy and paste scripts for now. All right, so we're gonna same thing, except instead of player entered, we'll do player exited, and then down here we'll call this one exited, and then same thing, and then we just need to check to see if it does have the ID, the map. That's backwards. This needs to be an early return if we already have the player in our map, then we don't need to add it. So we'll just return. But if we don't have the player in our map when we're exiting, then we don't need to worry about it. And then instead of set, is it called delete? What's it called? Yeah, delete. Removed player. Okay. I think that's all correct. If it's wrong, we may just come in and copy paste this. All right, that looks fine. How's the chat doing? Didn't want Meta to buy Unity like a didn't Meta want to buy Unity like a decade ago? All right, I missed things. I bet the Meta developers use something like Unity. If not, I'm impressed with what some of them accomplished in the VR editor. Yeah, I am surprised. About some of the worlds that people came up with. It is impressive if they used the VR editor. And I think that is all that there was for a while. Is just the VR editor, and so you literally have to like code in the VR editor, which is like with like the little blocks. That's amazing if you could do something minorly like competent in there. Because like adding in TypeScript is incredible. And yes, Gridstone TypeScript is literally just JavaScript. So when TypeScript is running, the application that's actually processing it only sees JavaScript. It doesn't even see TypeScript. TypeScript's literally just for the programmer. And it's validated TypeScript, or it's validated Java, or typed. It's typed JavaScript is what it is. TypeScript. So so we have to explicitly state this. So this is the difference between TypeScript and JavaScript, is this right here. We're declaring the type of player, the type of variable that we're bringing in. It's just instead of C# where you declare it in front, where you would do like, capital P player and then lowercase p player, you would do here it's lowercase p player, and then we're doing a Horizon Worlds capital P player, and it's just kind of backwards, it's flipped. Same with the methods. So you declare the type of response return here. And so in JavaScript, this wouldn't be strictly necessary. You could do it, but not necessary. And that's the only difference. Just in case, the server is considered a player, so you have to put 2 players in your map. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's like a server hosted multiplayer environment, and the server is a player, is like an instance of the game, and then you have client 1, client 2, client 3. I imagine it's something like that. No Sleep Kid, welcome back. What do you do for work, if you care to share? So is building meta worlds all in script, or can you actually just use assets to build a map? No, you can use it's this is their editor, so it's similar to Unity, also kind of similar to what's it called? Oh man, see, this is why I want my IDE to work, because it doesn't underline things like that for me, and I have no idea where I'm missing a where the heck am I missing a parenthesis? I don't know. All right, what line are you saying? Line 38? Missing a parenthesis here? Is that what you want? Nope. Still missing a parenthesis, and we have more issues. All right, we're just gonna copy this because my IDE is not working correctly, so We're just copying scripts today. All right. This should work. Better. All right, so added a player, and then when I leave, it should, oh. All right, should have recalculated things before I jumped in. And then when I leave, it doesn't remove me, but I guess the world ends before I leave. So I wonder if I can I leave the world? And, okay, so if I hit tab, nothing happens. I can't click on this either. I don't know how to add myself, multiple. I don't know how to leave the world but keep the world active. I don't know what that does either. Lots of question marks here still. Preview actions. No. Okay, interesting. Change, okay, 3 dots next to stop. What do I need to change in here? In order to, like, is it this like auto stop, auto start simulation? Toggle off auto stop. Okay. So now if I go in here and then I leave, it should take my character out, but the world sim's gonna stay on. Aha! Good job, Miami. Thank you. Okay, so the world is still simulating, but I'm entering and exiting, so it should pop open a new player. Ah, okay, I see. I kind of get the idea of a world sim now. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So all we have done so far is find out when the character actually gets into the scene. That's all we've done so far. We haven't. Now we need to. All right, we need a game manager next. Okay. We're just copying and pasting scripts now too, so should go a little faster. Okay, so we have 3 states. All right, this is not strictly required, but this is for this particular game. We're gonna have 3 states. It's gonna be a game ready state, a game play state, and then a game over state. So we're creating a manager to do all of that. So we're gonna create a new script called GameManager. All right, go up here, new script, call it GameManager. We're following instructions, people. All right, then we need to open it in the external editor. Actually, I have Visual Studio Code. Do I have Visual Studio Code? I don't have it. Let's install Visual Studio Code. All right, this is the recommended IDE that they recommend. Windows 10. Save file. It's because I hate Visual Studio Code. That's why. Oh, get over here. Why are you over there? I can't read you over there. It popped up on the wrong window. It's on my teleprompter. I don't want it to be on my teleprompter. I can't. It's not sized correctly. Okay, there we go. Wait. Ooh. There we go. I moved it. Nope. Oh man, it went back. Wait, come back. Nope, that's not what I wanted. it's not letting me. I just want to accept the license and terms. Come on. Let me do it. Go full screen if you must. Why are you like this? This is painful. What's up, XXYRMXX? It's the only time I'm ever gonna say your name. Okay, why are you not letting me? You guys can't see this, but huzzah! Okay, we're installing Visual Studio Code right now because we're in a very sad state. NeoVim has failed me. No, it's just I've not used NeoVim for so long that it's not working currently. My actual like IDE isn't working, so we are accepting defeat and opening Visual Studio Code, which is very sad. Yes, mark all of this is done. All right, we need to go back to, okay, I want you on this screen, please. And then we need to go back over here and then click on this guy and then click, where's my open in external editor, open settings, select, should be, okay, I have to find Visual Studio Code now. That's fun. Where would Visual Studio Code be? Why don't you just auto find it? I'm gonna hit reset. If I just hit reset, will it get will it get Visual Studio? What? Come on. All right. It's gonna be in program files, probably. And then Microsoft Visual Studio? No. Is it not in program files? I'm very surprised. Microsoft? It's not in Microsoft Visual Studio. That's like the other one. Is it in the x86 one? Where is Visual Studio installed? Where are you? Open file location. That's what I want. Copy you. Paste you over here. That's the one. Take it. Apply. Yes. Or is that just the... Okay, cool. Now, it should open up. This has been painful. Open an external editor. All right, Visual Studio Code. Yes. All right, here we are. Can I? There we go. Nope, minus. Too zoomed in, too far. All right. All right, now we should have some kind of IntelliSense, which will be nicer. And then does it give me, yeah, open the folder. Where are, is this all the scripts? Yeah, do that folder. Yes. Yes, I am the authors. Okay. GameManager. Oh, is this the complete? Is this different than the one I just made? Oh, okay. It gave us the answers. We were just being difficult. All right, so we have to go through in this tutorial and make all of these. So we have a player manager, a gym controller, a game manager, reset game trigger, and start game trigger. So we're making this game very complicated. Call you X. You do just homework. Ah, school. What's up, Guido? Guido Comba. Greetings from Argentina. Nice. I think you're in my time. You might be a couple time zones over. Almost. I'm US Eastern time. I don't know, it's pronounced Zerm. So we are, I don't know if no, I didn't answer this yet. We are trying to figure out Meta's new Horizon Worlds application type of thingy. So this is their new like game engine, basically, that you can create VR worlds, mobile worlds, and web worlds in. We are going through the tutorial and trying to make a super simple game of walking around and collecting 5 gems. And it's proving difficult. So hopefully now that I've got a actual kind of IDE, this will go a little bit better. But so if I actually like type in stuff, okay, yeah, so it will. Control Z. Hold on. We have to install at least one plugin. Where's extensions, Vim motions. This is required. Vim scene? Vim, I want Vim motions. I think this is it. I don't want a theme. No, not a theme. This guy. Okay. So now if I go here. Ah, beautiful. I cannot like code normally now. I have to use Vim motions. Otherwise I go insane. Okay. What do you think so far? Can you make any game you can make with Unity, or are there limits? It just work for Meta. Yes, so it does just work for Meta. All the VR worlds will only work for Meta headsets. Yes, that is correct. When you save your script, wait a little bit because Horizon recompiles them and you may lose some code if you keep writing. That's a good tip. Thank you, Strance. You've been very helpful today. I appreciate you. What is your favorite OBS transition you're about to live stream? I don't know. I use the default. I don't know. All right. So we've got the player manager. We are creating this game manager. So it wants us to go through and create the game manager. So we're going through and like recreating all the, so it gives us the scripts, but you know, we could use them, but I want to actually learn how to code. Like what do I need? What are the, you know, kind of built-in lifecycle events and that kind of stuff. So we're doing it from scratch-ish. All right, so we're not copying and pasting code now because we have an IDE that will work. All right, so we've got 3 different game states: ready, play, and game over. And we need to set that up. So at the very bottom of the game manager file, we're going to add an enum. So we're going to export an enum called game state. So all the way to the bottom, export enum, we'll call it game state. And then this is going to have game ready, game, was it play? No, game ready, playing, finished. That's what we want. All right, so ready, playing, playing, and finished. Okay. Easy enough. All right, variables to hold the current game state. So we're going to have a private game state variable. What does this at the end mean? I don't know what that means in TypeScript. The value should be an enum value. Oh, okay. The exclamation point instructs the compiler that this variable can be treated as a non-null like, so it's never going to be null. Okay, so this just means it's not null. The variable itself will never be null. Then inside of our start function, we need to actually assign it. Okay, so we're assigning it to ready at the beginning. All right, so after this, I guess, do we need to go private game state not null, and then we're going to be of type game state. Cool. Also, they have a comma after this because you can do that in TypeScript. Cool. All right. and then we need to assign it and start. So we'll do this dot game state is going to be equal to game state dot ready at the very beginning whenever GameManager starts. So when the world first loads in, we will automatically go to game ready status. Cool. And then get or set game state function. Okay, so this is kind of this is a poor man's state machine. It's basically what this is. It's a switch statement, and then inside of here we're gonna like do something different every single time. It's basically what they want us to create here. So set game state is gonna be our poor man's state machine. So this will be a separate, still be inside the class actually, but separate function. So private set game state, and then we are going to send a game state. So new state, and then this is going to be of type game state. Cool. And then we're returning void. All right. And then inside of here, we're going to do a switch statement. Just give me the switch. I want that guy. Yeah, there we go. And then the switch is going to be new state. We're switching on new state. Oh, you undo way too much. All right, and then the case is going to be game state dot ready. Then we'll do another case. Game state dot playing, and then another state. Break that one, and then another case of game state dot finished. Cool. And then break that one, and then a default, which we should never have, but just in case. Cool. Using Visual Studio 2022, and you have a pop-up that warns me that scripting is being overwritten. You could accept or deny, but in VS Code it's automatic. Yeah, Visual Studio's not really built to develop a language that's not strongly typed. So like it's mainly for like C#. And then you can do other stuff in it, but yeah, it's mainly for C#. That's what it was built for. Like ASP.NET, like that kind of stuff. Because in the background of like JavaScript, TypeScript applications, like you can change the code on the fly while it's running and it won't care. Whereas C# or C++ or C or any kind of like C based language is not going to let you do that. It has to like be fixed and set. Excuse me. It has to be fixed and set at the very beginning, like right when you start. And you can't change code on the fly. So that's why like using like a different kind of IDE like VS Code that's a little more flexible is good for you. All right, so we got all the states. This is like our little state machine here. The above defines the architecture for how the function operates. Value state is passed in as a new state, switch state, blah 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 blah. And then we're going to use the switch statement to update. So it basically wants us to. Okay, so if we are. Okay, so now we're adding in some more logic. Okay, so if it's the same state, we don't need to do anything. So we're just going to return. So that makes sense. If it's the same state, if the new state. Wait, why are you going down there? If the new state is equal to, do we do 3 equals here? Yeah, 3 equals. That's another different thing in TypeScript. I think 2 equals is like, okay, if they match, and then if they match, but they don't have to be the same type. 3 equals, I think, is they have to match and be the same type. I don't quite remember, but that's another different thing. All right, so if new state equals the game state, this dot game state, then we can just return. Cool. And then inside of game ready, if we're not already playing, then we can swap to ready. if we're not to, okay, so we basically, so we can swap, we're setting up which one can go to which is basically what we're doing. Yes, equals is assignment, double equals is comparison, 3 equals is exact comparison. Thank you. You made me think of Bafungi. You can write code in that language that modifies itself as it runs. Oh yeah, that would be, I mean, that's the like people with, you know, like AI is the future and being able to like edit itself. That's like, you know, it'll be a language like this, or probably Python, to be honest. You can do, Python will also let you edit on the fly as well. Okay, so 0 equals null is true, but 0 equals 3 equals null is false. Okay. Yeah. That vaguely, I remember that vaguely now. All right. All right, cool. So this is basically just setting who can go to who. So we want to be able to go from ready to is playing, but not to finished. So if the new state is ready, we're just making sure that we're not coming from playing. So if the new state is equal to game state dot playing, then we return. Or it's gonna give me errors. I can't do an early return, so we'll just do the opposite here. Why are you giving? Oh, I have to do. Oh, no. Yeah, we're doing this wrong. We need to go not new state, if this dot game state. So basically if the previous state was not playing, then we can do whatever we need to do. And then inside of here, we're gonna do if the previous state was not equal to ready. Or no, if the previous state was not finished, so we can't go straight from finished to playing. So we'll do game state dot finished. Cool. And then this one, we cannot go from game state is not equal to game state. We cannot go from ready straight to finished. So there we go. That's our logic direction. So now ready only points to playing, playing only points to finished, finished only points back to ready. That's the idea of that. Cool. And then we need to set the initial game state in the start method. Makes sense. Okay, so instead of setting it like this, well, do we need to do both? Or no, it wants us to take out. Yeah, so it wants us to replace the code from earlier. So we're gonna delete that, and then now we can just go this dot set game state, and then we'll set it to ready. Game state dot ready. Okay, cool. All right, it wants us to test it. Fine. Fine. We'll do lots of playtest. No. We'll do console.log. Is that how you do it? No. That's the C# way of doing that. And here you do it like this. Okay. New game state is, and then like that. No, you do a dollar. No, dollars. Goodness. Dollar sign in front of it, and then oh, and then this needs to. We're getting this. I'm relearning the the TypeScript. It's the weird little like, not single quotes. It's like the tiny hash thingies. All right, and then we want to cast this .game state to game state. So we'll do game state, and then we can basically do that. Okay. All right, so now every time that happens, you should set it, and then and then we actually do need to set it. We're not actually setting it, so we'll do this dot game state is now equal to new state. This dot game state equal to new state, and this dot game state equal to new state. Cool. Is that how they were doing it? Or no, they were just directly setting it. Seems redundant. Whatever. Okay, cool. Now let's test it. Back in here. Backticks, yes, that's the word for it. Thank you. All right, and then we need to set the game manager to an empty object again. Do this annoying deal. Game manager. Like it's already in the hierarchy here. Why is it not considered part of the scene? I don't understand. Go in here. And then we need to attach a script called game manager. There we are. Your position can be 000. Your position can be 000. Cool, cool. All right, I think we're all good there. So now, if I clear the console, hit play, new game state is ready, and we added player. Beautiful. That works. Seemed like a lot of setup. We basically just set up a whole state machine. That's why it felt like a lot. This was we just set up a state machine. I thought I was just making a simple like walk around and pick up gems game. Just turning into a complicated little thing I have to walk through. Let me check on the streams real quick. Make sure everybody's compatible. All right, we're all still here. Everybody's still hanging out. YouTube, what is up? You guys have kind of come through a lot. We got a bunch of people on YouTube. People interested in the Horizon Worlds desktop stuff. Cool. All right. All right, so that works. What's next? Maybe we'll actually be able to pick up gems. Probably not. Something else. We're broadcasting events. All right. As the functionality grows, other parts of our game will need to know when the game state has changed. All right, so we're going to set up events now. An event system. Retaining a reference in Game Manager to all other managers and systems. All right, so we basically just need a game state changed event is what it wants us to do. All right, so this is, we're going to export a constant, and it's going to be a new horizon.local event of type game state. And then the name of it is going to be game state changed. Okay, let me type that in so I can remember it better. Oh, is it? Die. Goodness. Don't mind me over here. Just in the driest house in the land. Goodness. I'm just kind of tearing up here. Don't mind me. All right. All right. Atop the game manager file, below the import statements is where they want it. So I guess outside of the class, yeah, because we're exporting it. So we're exporting a event. So it's called export constant game state. game state changed. And then it's a new horizon dot local event. New HZ dot local event. And then it's of type, I'm calling it type state game state. Game state. Okay. And then we're naming it. Game state changed. Okay. That looks correct. All right, so we have an event. And then we need to send a local broadcast. So this is a built-in send local broadcast event function that will pass the current value. All right, so they already have apparently they already have a built-in event system for us. They just want us to use it is the idea here. All right, so we're basically defining a new event. All right, add the following line inside of our set game state function at the very bottom. Okay, so right next to where we're logging, we're basically wanting to send the local broadcast. Okay, so right before we log, we will, is it this dot send local broadcast event? That's what we want. And then how do we actually send it? We send the game state changed value. So whatever the value we want. Oh no, we're sending the actual event that we defined earlier. Okay. All right. So the send local broadcast event is a Horizon Worlds built-in event system, and then we need to send it the event we want to register, and then the event we want to invoke. So this is basically like us invoking an event. So we send it the event we want to invoke, and then the new value of the event if it has any. All right. So we've got the game state change event, and then we're sending it this dot set game, new game state. Or actually, we'll just do game state. This dot game state, and then it's called state. So we're it's a new object with just one value called state. So we're not sending it like a direct variable. We're sending it an object. That's what these parentheses are. That was a little confusing. And here, I'll scroll up so y'all can see it better. That was confusing for me when I was learning TypeScript, because I learned C# first, and this whole dealio. So this, if I delete the state and the squirrely braces, is completely different. You're still sending like, so this, you're only sending a variable. This, you're sending an entire new object. So this is like a whole new object with just one value in it, and the value is state, and with one variable in it. So the variable or property, and that's what they call it, is state, and then the value of state is this dot game state. That was a little confusing for me when I was first learning. I do remember that now. All right, so we're sending the event, and then we need to catch it, okay, so it's gonna give us warnings because nobody's listening to it. We also want to allow other components to send in state change request. For that, our game manager should listen for event broadcast. Okay, so we're creating a two-way event system. We're sending events, and then we're receiving events. All right, so yeah, it's basically just trying to teach us how to do events. This seems overly complex. Okay, so we're sending out, anytime the state changes, we're sending out an event, and then it wants us to set up a receive event. So, or a listening, we're setting up a listener is basically what this next part is. So we're going to export another event called set game state. Okay. And this will allow, all right, so export const set game state. And it's going to be a new Horizon local event of type state, game state. See, this is the object showing up again right here. And then this one we're calling set game state. Oh, I spelled that wrong. State. Okay, there we go. Cool, I did that correctly. And then this one we're going to, instead of send local broadcast event, we are going to connect local broadcast event. And I assume this happens in the start function. Yes. Okay, so this dot connect local broadcast event, we want the event that we are connecting, and then it's going to be a data object with a data property with the game object inside of it. Okay. So inside start, we're going to, before we set the state, we're going to set up this listener. So we'll do this dot connect local broadcast event. All right, so this is all local, and there is a network version. Interesting. Okay, so this is all single player stuff, it seems, is how we're setting it up at this point. The local events. So this is single player only. All right, so we are going to need set game state. That's the event we're listening for. And then we want to get parentheses data. How are they doing this? Data state game state. Man, I'm really rusty on TypeScript. Okay, so this is a callback function, and then we're going to set the game state. Okay, yeah. And then data.state. Cool. All right, so now every time we receive, this is our subscription. This is how we subscribe to something. We connect local broadcast event. So the connecting is subscribing, and then sending is invoking. If we're kind of setting this back up in C# terms, and then we are grabbing the event that we want to listen to, that we want to connect, and then we're basically just telling it what function do we want to run. So this is a callback function. So what function do we want to run whenever this event happens? And so whenever the event happens, we receive a state. And so we are going to just set the new game state. Cool. All right, so now we can send and receive events. Nothing is actually sending or receiving anything. So at this point, GameManager looks like this. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So now we build the game. Maybe we might finally. Goodness, we've been at this for 2 hours and we don't even have like the gym stuff set up. This is this is a lot. It's a lot of coding for something. I feel like it's a lot of coding. It might not be a lot of coding if you already know TypeScript. It might just be easy and we're just kind of learning the all the built-in functions, the API and stuff. That it may just be the complicated bit, and we're just kind of overcomplicating this. Who knows? You guys all fall asleep? You fall asleep on me? that was pretty heavy. Felt heavy. Deep. How you doing? How are we feeling about this? I gotta poke you, make sure you're awake. All right, now we are building the game setup. So when the game enters the ready state, the course should not have any gyms in it. And then when we start playing, okay, so we're basically hiding the gyms until we start playing so the player doesn't get advanced notice. Good thing you didn't set the bar too high for the first session. You mean like potentially someone saying ridiculously that we should create our own world and publish it in the first session. That would be ridiculous. Who would say such a thing? So bold, so brave. All right, let's see if we can actually grab gems. All right, so we have a gem list. This module has two steps. Have the game manager hold a reference for each gem and communicate them to when they need to move. They move. And then have each gem be in control of where it moves. I feel like the gems shouldn't be moving. Why are the gems moving? There's 1,000 pages of documentation. I'm not sure I'll be Bob Rossifying this after all. Hopefully you could publish a custom GPT or chat GPT though for the TypeScript portion of their docs. How many pages can you put into a custom GPT? Last I saw it was like only like 20 PDF files. You're still there watching how I handled the tutorial that you went through 2 months ago. Yes, the gems should be fleeing the player. That is how we should set this up. But yeah, it's like, why is it talking about the gems moving? I feel like the gems shouldn't move. Toggling them on and off, yes, maybe. Moving? No, seems a bit advanced. All right, we're building this. This seems a bit redundant. Why not just have a list of gems instead of specifying every single individually gem? What if I wanted to add a 6th gem? I'd have to go in here and change the script. What's going on here? All right, so yeah, you have to manually set up each one. Can I not just have a list? Can I not just have a list of gems? Or is this the way does it like bait me with this and then change it later on? I feel like that's something Unity would do. They've done it before. Use the Wilhelm scream when they get caught. Yeah. What? It's like the R2D2. I know it is the R2D2 scream when he like falls down into like the lava or something. All right, by the way, if you've followed along this far into this live stream, you should definitely like the video on YouTube and follow me on Twitch, because we are deep, and if you're still in this, we are in this together. So you should just hang around. You can't use an array of assets in the editor even though the type exists. Okay, that's a big red flag. Because what if you have like 100 gems? You literally have to just copy paste. Like what? I don't understand that design decision. Okay. Yeah, Horizon Worlds does not support entity array props at this time. You can easily create our own. Add 5 new properties to the props definition object, 1 for each entity. You can put your gems as child and get them at runtime. Okay, so you can't set it up. Ah, that's how you do it. That's a good idea. That's clever. So the way they have it set right now is you have like in the game manager, they want you to like drag and drop. So in Unity, this would be like a, in your inspector, just doing a serialized field kind of reference. So instead, you reference the parent and then you just have an array or a loop go through all the children. That makes more sense. Yeah. Jason Booth would be very displeased you can't use arrays. And you can also use tags. Okay. Clever. I like having you around, Strance. Thank you. Lots of insight. I might need to make a leap to Twitch. Not sure why I've waited so long to use that platform. So since I've started streaming, I found myself watching Twitch live streams a lot more, like even just of games that I enjoy. And you'd probably be surprised to know that most of them are not VR games. I follow a lot of like real-time strategy type of games. That's just the way my brain works. I like those kinds of games. And I've been using Twitch as a platform a lot more, and I am enjoying it more and more. I don't really get all the ins and outs of like what are bits and how do all the points and stuff work. I haven't really used that much, but it's the environment on Twitch just feels better. I mean, obviously it's more suited for like live streaming and stuff, and like interacting with the community on Twitch just seems better. And most everybody I've seen who streams on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time, they get like a lot more interaction on Twitch. Not in my case, because I have significantly more subscribers and people watching on YouTube at the current moment, but we'll see how that changes, because YouTube's, you know, more for VODs and stuff. So like that, the main reason I stream to both in the long term is because I can upload higher quality VODs to YouTube that just stick around for longer, because Twitch will actually cap the amount of like live stream VODs that they keep around. They'll actually like get rid of them after so many days, and so YouTube is for keeping the VODs around and watching the afterplay, and then Twitch I feel like is more of a platform for like actually watching it live. But that's the general consensus, I think. Okay, so where do we add this props definition? They want it in the GameManager component. Update the static props definition object inside of our GameManager component. Does it just goes anywhere? Or no, it already exists. It's this. Okay, so we're adding inside of here. This is your inspector. So all the fields you want in your inspector are over here. Strance, you came over. What's up? Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is basically your inspector. That's kind of how I am connecting that. This is your Unity inspector, and then we need to add gems. Gem 1, and then it's a type of HZ prop types entity. Okay, gem 1, and it, yeah, there we go. Type. This TypeScript stuff is, I'll get there one day. It's gonna mess me up if I swap back and forth between this and Unity, trying to program in both. Okay, so it's type hz dot prop types dot entity. Okay, and then comma. Yeah. Okay, and then we're just gonna yank that and paste, and then 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this would not fly. Flav. 1, 2, 3, 4, flav. That's it. We're leaving it as flav. Not even 5. We're beyond numbers. We have surpassed numbers. All right, and then over here, when we click on GameManager, somewhere, can we do things now? I have to. I did save it. Okay, do I need to do another thing? All right, we're clicking. Okay, so it's below the attached script. Interesting. Okay, so it's not on the script itself, and it's not like up here in the GameManager. You got to go down all the way, and it's below the attached script. Also, can you only attach one script at a time? Let's see. Yes, you can only attach one script, it seems. That's curious. Your main struggle about TypeScript is this spam everywhere. I feel like it's dirtying my code. That is annoying. I feel, can you remove it? Like, can I? No, it doesn't want you to remove it. Cannot find the name. Yeah. That is annoying. Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, obviously I'm referencing the same, like the same script I'm in. I guess that is the thing about TypeScript, is that you can access these from anywhere, maybe? Or it's, I guess that's the nature of it, is like as I'm writing this, it doesn't know if I'm using, this word somewhere else. Also, like this .connect local broadcast event. This is like this isn't from this method. This is from something else. Like this is coming from hz.event subscription. But it still has this in front of it. Like you think that would be, it wouldn't be that way. Very odd. All right. So we've got gems, emeralds. So we'll drag and drop. That took a second. I was like, can you not drag and drop? Because that's wild. But it takes a solid second. I'll let y'all see. So I drag and drop and then release. Like, it's a bit of a delay in there. Okay. I imagine you won't need navigation. We can turn that off. Do you have navigation too? Let's turn you off too. All right. So we've got all that set up. We have a reference to all the gems. What's next? What do you have next for me, Meta? In this torturous creation of a tutorial that you've made. Like literally should be the simplest tutorial. We're running around collecting gems. I feel like they would make it much easier than the current way it is. Okay. Build a variable array to hold the gems. All right, so now we have a list of them in our inspector, or what they're calling props definition in the props. Okay. And then we need a list to hold them. That's going to be inside of that's going to be inside the start, maybe? Back inside our GameManager script, we need a new private variable. Okay, yes, so in the start function. Yeah, all right. So gems, and it's going to be an array of types Hertz entity. Horizon entity. Private gems. And this is going to be horizon dot entity array. Is that how you set it up? Yes. And then it's going to be equal initially to an empty array. And then inside of the start method, let's go ahead and set up the gems before the local broadcast stuff, just in case we need to use them later. So we'll do this dot gems dot push, and then we will send it gem 1, gem 2, gem 3. We need to define, oh goodness, what is all this crap? What? Okay. API 2.0 does not allow the properties panel properties to serve as inputs to other scripted objects. So you must first assign these values to local variables. Does this make sense to anybody? Does anybody okay, API version 2.0 does not allow the properties panel properties, so basically the inspector references, to serve as inputs to the other scripted objects. So you must first assign these values to local variables. You didn't get the point on this read-only thing. You can just feed the props.gem in. Okay, so you just feed them. So you can literally just do this and put it in here. Can I do that? Let's try that first. This dot what was it? Props dot gem 1. Yeah, like can I just do that? 'Cause that would be so much easier. I guess you wouldn't be able to. Maybe if we do this, we can't edit because we're sending references to the gems themselves. Maybe. Props dot gem 4 and this dot props dot Flav. Jim Flav. How do I? Oh, this is the wrong thingy. That needs to be like that. That needs to be like that. And then now you're complaining. Oh, okay. I cannot. That's what my kid says a lot now. I cannot. I cannot. Scott says no. Strant says yes. The no was to my does anybody understand that? Type undefined. Okay. I understand now. It's not typed. None of these are typed. So you have to make a typed. Oh, so wait, we can just type it in here. Can we type it as entity? Yeah, there we go. Haha. Is this a workaround? Maybe. All right, so if we just manually type all of these, then it will like us. Okay. All right, we have deviated from the tutorial pretty hard so far. Actually, doesn't seem that hard, but exclamation mark at the end. So we actually don't need the exclamation mark at the end because we are manually typing. So the exclamation mark at the end is, so the way they're doing it is they're saying, so the property that this gems accepts, so that, which would be this hg.entity, this array accepts a list of, or an array of elements that are either an entity or they're null. And so we can either, so we could put like a null value in here if we wanted to. And that would work because it's undefined, which is a weird, well, I guess it does make sense because like if I wanted to like skip one for some reason. And so if we're specifying as entity here, that means we're skipping this or undefined option. Also, these are all read only, so we might, if we copy that, read only, it's probably gonna, okay, yeah, let's, all right, this is the thing I like about what I like about Vim Motions is I can do V, T, comma, P. No, except V, T, comma, P. No. V, T, comma, yank, Y, and then V, T, comma, and then if I do Shift P, it shouldn't. V, T, comma, Shift P. Yep. V, T, or V4. Oh, no. V4. No. V. Goodness. Whatever. Fine, I'll manually type this one out. I was trying to be fancy. All right, so these are all going to be read-only ones. So now we're a little more in line with the tutorial. We're just, instead of doing this weird shenanigans where they create a new, so they're basically creating a new variable, and we're just directly shoving them right in here. Always good to try deviations to see if you're understanding it properly. Yeah, that is good. That's a good, like, this is the way I like to do when I'm doing tutorials, is to try to kind of push the boundaries a little bit. And this is why when I am actually performing tutorials and like doing tutorials for y'all, I like to give you examples of like, okay, you could do that here, or this wouldn't work here, and here's why. Because in my head, I'm doing this a lot. And like when I'm learning stuff. Okay. It's because it can be undefined. If you put the exclamation mark, it forces it to not be undefined or null. Yes. Yep. And then you don't need to write out all the as, but your way seems to work. Well, I would have to write it out here is the annoying part. So I'm just writing out here instead is basically what we're doing. But tomato, tomato. All right. That was annoying. Cool. Carrying on. All right. So now what does it want? Create entity events for setup. So to finish off our step 1 of our plan, we need to set the game manager to communicate with the when the gems need to move. We need to add this functionality to be called when our state changes. In our game manager switch statement, within the case for playing, we need to insert a call to a new on game state playing function, which we define next. On game. Okay, so yeah, so we're just like, carrying on with this state machine thing. So we set the new game state, and then we do this dot on, what we're calling it, on game state playing. And then we will create a new method. Yeah. Private on game state playing, and we'll return void. And then inside of here, we need to move the gems to the course. I don't know why are you wording it like this? Just turn them on. Turn the gems on, not move them to the course. That's a very weird way of wording it. Okay, so we could send a broadcast event again and have the game object subscribe to that event. However, in this case, we have references to the exact entities, so we can send them each an event directly. We do this with the built-in send local event API. Okay, so we're doing another event dealio. So this one's going to be called move gem to course. It's going to be an empty event, so it's just going to be like a, hey, this got turned on. Whoops. All right, so we're going to add this new event. Why won't you let me paste? There we go. And it's going to be called move gem to course. And then where do I guess it makes sense to invoke this event in our on game state playing method. All right, so this dot send local broadcast event is how we're going to do it. And then this is going to be, what are we calling it? Move gem to course. And then we want to receive a data. Actually, we don't have any data. It's going to be empty callback. And then we do the things. And then what things are we going to do? Oh, okay. So we need to do this for each event. Private on game state playing. This dot send local event. Okay, so I'm doing this. Am I doing this right? Oh, it's not a broadcast event. This is different. Okay, so it's just send local event. And then all right, all right. Start over. I thought I was doing it right. I was not. All right, so this, we're going to loop through all the gems. So this dot gems for each. We need to get a gem out. It's a callback. Everything's a callback. Okay, so that goes there. This goes there. And then this here, there, like that. And then the callback is going to contain gem. And the gem is going to be of type hertz. Dot entity. Okay. And then we're going to call this .send local event. We're going to have the gym, and then move gym to course is what we're going to call. Okay. This .send local event, which is different than local broadcast event. I'm not quite sure how. But the event we want to, oh, I called the broadcast event. Send local event. Broadcast is global. This one is targeted specific entities. Okay. Okay, so if we send, that's why it needs the gem here. So we send the entity we want to target, and then the event we want move to course. Whereas the global, we didn't send a specific entity. Okay. Okay. That's the difference between the local broadcast event is everything, and then local event is a specific entity. And then we are going to move to course, and then we're not actually sending any data, so it's empty. Aha, this makes sense. I'm glad you're here, Strats. I say that every time you say something, but again, it's true. All right. Now we're gonna build the gym controller. All right, we're gonna need a new script. Huzzah! Off to make a new script. All right. Over here, new gym controller. We're gonna open this bad boy up. And then I assume we're going to need to attach it to each gym. Really need to figure out how to do prefabs now. Okay, gym controller. Can I select multiple? And no, I cannot edit multiple at the same time. That's sad. All these like little niceties of Unity just not coming through. Gym controller, gym controller, gym controller. Right, and then I don't need you. Delete. Cool. All right, so now dang it. That's annoying. So if I delete the script out of the hierarchy, it deletes the script entirely. Let's go see. Is it in my folder structure? No, it totally. Okay. All right, that is something to. Oh no, it's here. It's just deleted. So yeah, if we take that out, then. Gosh. Okay. Tricky. All right, so don't delete a script out of the hierarchy. It will delete the script. So that is annoying. Oh yeah, we have to use lock so that we can't accidentally delete it. Lock. It can't be moved. All right, lock. Cannot be changed. Don't change these. Don't change this one either. Or the environment, probably. Lock everything down. Nothing moves. Nothing gets deleted. All right. Try this again. New gym controller. And then we'll create a new asset for this. I can't right click. I've got to go up here to the top, create empty. This one's going to be called lonely scripts. No, just so they have something to be there for them. These the scripts that I make that I get attached to other things, but I need to actually, these don't need to be locked because I need to actually change them. So each one of these, we're gonna go back and do this again. Add gym controller to everything. I say gym controller, it makes me think of like one of those sweaty high school gyms and not very nice emerald kind of gyms. Anybody else? Oh wow, we are way past the time I used to used to streaming that I planned on, but I want to like get through this. I want to be able to walk around and pick up the gems. We might go for a little longer tonight. All right, gem controller, lock that down. Lock my lonely scripts down. Nobody's deleting that anymore. Okay. Where were we? All right, I want to open up gem controller script. Open an external editor. Off we go. All right. Now, where were we? We need to. So we're now we need to receive the event. So we're getting pushed the local event. So we need to connect, which is the keyword for listen or subscribe to this event. Okay, so we are this dot connect local event, and then it's going to be this dot entity, the current entity, and then we need the actual event, which is going to be, what was he calling it? Emerald. What did we call it? Move gem to course. Move gem to course from this guy, and then we'll do a callback. We're not receiving any data, it's just a pure push. And then this one is gonna do what? This dot on move gem to course event. On move gem to course event. Cool. And then we'll create that. Private on move gem to course event. It's going to be a void. And then what are we doing here? To do move the gem. Hidden location. Oh, we literally are moving it. Can I just, I don't want to move it. I want to position it in the that's the whole point of the editor. Let me position it in the editor and just reveal it. I don't want to move it around. All right, we initially want all the gems to be hidden off of the course, and then when our game is in the ready state for the hidden position, we can store our value of any position. So I can't take it off? I can't hide it? Is that what you're telling me? So it's saying, what it's basically telling me is that we need to start all of the gems 100 meters away outside of the walls of the course. And then when the game starts, we need to move them back to their proper positions. This is insane. Why not just have a little toggle that you can hide it and all of the like colliders and everything underneath it? Why move it? Okay. Move them down. That's good. You can't disable entities. Just make them not visible, but they're still active with physics animations and stuff. So you can only move them. You can't disable them. That is a wild thing to have in a game engine. I'll just say that. Oh, it's another thing. Yeah, scale to 0. I have used that in Unity before, where I'll scale something to 0 instead of turning it off. That's why they're teaching you to move them. Yeah, I think that is a stupid way to do it. I want to try the, let's try the scale thing. I like your scale thing, Gridstone. We're not doing the stupid moving. I'm going to scale it. All right. Since we want our gems hidden initially, we need to move the gems to the hidden position when the script starts. We need to apply this hidden location when the gems are initialized. Add the following to the beginning of the start method. There is a visibility button. You can use it in script. Yeah, but you said do the colliders work with the visibility stuff? So like if I, let's see, Emerald here. Oh, yeah. All right, so, okay, so yeah, visibility and colliders. Can we just Turn that off. Yeah, but can we turn both? Can we turn the collider and the visible off? If we can't toggle the entire object, surely we can toggle the collider and the visible. That is so much better of a way to do it. Oh, you got the custom GPT? It's not Bomber House, but it might be useful. I would hope it's useful. I will try it out for sure if you post it in the school group. Actually, I don't even think I'm subscribed to ChatGPT right now. I use the free version and try it out. I am using Grok 3 right now, and it is phenomenal. All right, we're not doing it the stupid way. We're doing it the correct way. I just don't know what the correct way is. Okay. Entity.position. So surely in the start method. So before we subscribe to any events, we want to, all right, we're going to do this .entity .collidable. Set that equal to false. There we go. Oh, is that read only? Type of Boolean is not assignable to type horizon property Boolean. Okay. How do I? All right, false horizon property Boolean. Like that? Is that what you want? How do I type this correctly? Oh, you can't use free ChatGPT for custom GPTs? Oh, sad. Yeah, Grok 3 is really nice. The player managed to escape the bounding box of the world. That's just a happy little accident. Okay. All right. So we're stumping me with TypeScript shenanigans right now. So I cannot set this equal to false because it's not the right kind of false. We have to do a horizon property Boolean. No. It doesn't want a Boolean, it wants a horizon property Boolean. If getters and setters on those indicates whether the collider is into maybe collidable needs to be assigned an enum value. Entity.collidable needs to be assigned it's some kind of enum. Horizon, right? Wait, so it wants horizon property Boolean. Okay, HC horizon property. Arguments, name, prototype. Oh, yeah. I think you're right. Haha, there we go. Set false. This .entity .property or visible. Yeah, set false. There we go. Horizon devs, if you're watching this is the correct way to do things and not moving it from a random location. Nope, don't do that. Okay, when we want our gems to appear, we will simply move them from the hidden position. This makes sense. Moving it makes sense if you want it to be different every time. If you're trying to make the game a little more unpredictable and procedural and replayable, you throw the gems at a different spot every time. That's the part that you move around, not before it's collidable. Not from a different location. You hide it in its spot and then you unhide it. So I can do the rest of this now. You literally just go this .entity collidable set true. This .entity visible, set true. Beautiful. All right. Cursor position. Why do we need a cursor position? What's going on? Okay. Use a reference object to set the gem's position. Okay. I feel like they're teaching us this because they only wanted to show off these kind of like reference position deal, not how to actually do this in a game. I think it was literally just to show off this like little reference position thing, and then how to get the position of a referenced entity from somewhere else. This tutorial was not made with your game in mind. Okay. I understand their why they went down this path a little bit better now. Wonder if they were thinking about object pooling. No, because it shouldn't be that like the object already exists. We're not creating a new object. We're not instantiating anything. So it shouldn't take much memory to show it and hide it. I don't know. Maybe it does in their engine. I think they were trying to show off this props.coursePositionRef.position.get. So you basically just use the getter on another object to access it. So you basically just in this props definition, you treat the props definition like all of the serialized fields that you want to have in Unity, in a Unity object. And then inside of that, you get a reference to another object, and then you can move it. So they want us to move it to the reference of the other object by using the getter of that position, I think. I'm trying not to vomit at this point. The zombie shooter is way better. It's night and day. Okay, maybe we'll continue this. I want to finish this. I'm not signing off, but I think on Tuesday when we come back and maybe try this again, I might try to do this. I might put a little pause on doing the course project, and I may do some Horizon. I may try to build a couple of these Horizon Worlds tutorials just to see how they go. And then Tuesday we might build the zombie demo then, if you're saying it's a little bit better. There's a topic in the doc about 3 ways to do object pooling. Oh, is it the one we're like coming up to? All right, so this is the complete game controller. Game start. Okay, so it wants us, so over here in the editor, there's a start little box and then a reset little box over here, and it wants us to add a trigger area. Oh yeah, see, look, now it's hidden, but we've got this weird little shadow. Not sure what that's about. Turn the world sim off. All right, hold on. Let's play this. All right, I assume it turned it off and on. Let's test this. Okay, let's not turn them back on. Let's hide them and hide the colliders. We're not gonna turn them back on, so we'll start the game and then see if we can walk through. We know there's one at the top of the stairs. We know there's one directly in front of us. So if we just walk straight, it should. Okay, yeah, so I can't see them. And then can I walk? Okay, yeah, I can walk through them. Okay, so that does work. Our solution. It does effectively just hide them. Yeah. So I'm not like running into them. I can't see them. That is the correct way to do it. What's up, killer? You kind of giving up on game dev? What should you wow, words are hard. What should I do to get back into it? Well, what kind of game do you want to make? Like there has to be a reason that you want to do game dev. And I need to turn this back on. this, what you're kind of seeing right now is a little bit of a picture of what it would look like to get back into it, because I have not ever used, I installed this editor 2 days ago, and I used it for maybe 15 minutes to just kind of poke around a little bit before I got on the stream. And it's the language that I'm using, I have not used in over a year and a half, so I'm very rusty on like how it all works. So you're getting a little bit of a glimpse on what it would be like to get back into game development, and it kind of looks like it's a weird mashup of like Godot and Unity. It's the worst of both is what it is. This is if you're just joining us, this is Unity's Meta Horizon desktop editor that you can use to build Horizon Worlds VR apps in, and we are trying to figure out how it works. What is this? This is my lonely scripts. Why are you huge? All right, you should be at 0, 0, 0, and your scale should also be at 0. I don't want to see you. Also, you can be 0, 0, 0, and you can be 0, 0, 0. I don't want to see you in the world. Another weird thing that they did. Like, why are my scripts physically in the world? I don't want them like this. No, I don't. This shouldn't see anything in the world. It should be hidden. Environment, that's fine. Spawn point, that's fine. Emeralds, that's fine. Okay. Where was I? Okay, so we can uncomment this. We know that works. And then, all right, so they want us to add a gizmo. Shapes, gizmos, trigger zone. They want us to add a trigger zone to the start, and then a trigger zone to the reset. And then when you enter the, okay, so this is basically like colliders in Unity. How do you do colliders? Trigger boxes. That one. So we'll go new gizmos, trigger zone. Okay. And then you get moved over here. Nope. Go over here. How big are you? You are, can I just copy the attributes? Is that a thing? Ooh, yeah. Okay, cool. Paste. Where'd you go? Hey. All right, that was not the position I was expecting that to be in. All right, we'll bring you back up. And then we'll just scale you up. Okay, so the hotkeys is W, E, and R work as expected. That's nice to know. All right, so we'll center you here, and then we can do the Z scale. I wonder if it is the Z scale. Yes, so the colors do match up with what Unity's colors are. Like this is the, I think that, is it Blender or maybe Maya, where the scaling's like a little bit different. All right, it doesn't need to be perfect because we're just going to be stepping on it. So just it needs to be some kind of player width. Don't need to, I have too much of like a perfectionist headspace to like really do anything productive most of the time. But all right, there we go. Good enough, that works. And then we will copy and, well, let's just do Control D, duplicate that, and then move it over here. There we go. And then you can get renamed as the reset trigger. And then you can get renamed as the start trigger. Beautiful. What motivated Strantz the most was creating assets, coding, was VR chat. Because you could show your work day by day to people. That's actually a really good way to do it. And that's, I'm kind of considering using this, like Horizon Worlds, as a demo for larger games that I want to make that are standalone, but trying out the game mechanics in Horizon Worlds, because now you can code in TypeScript. So if I can figure it out good enough, I could build sufficiently complex apps that would be worth making a whole game around. And so if you try it out in Horizon Worlds and it becomes popular, one, you make money from Horizon Worlds, so you might not need to make another game if you sell some kind of in-app purchase kind of thing, or you just use it as a test bed and then you go make a Metastore app in Unity or something. Just an idea. You want to buy a VR headset, Santha Show? Kumar, I'll call you Kumar. What would you suggest? Why? Or can I wait for the new upcoming VR headset? So if there's a new headset being released from Meta, so I would recommend buying Meta's headset, like a Quest 3. Is if you don't really have a budget, buy Quest 3. It's still decently cheap. I think you can get one for $500 is the cheapest new. That's like their lowest gigabyte version. If you are on a budget, get the Quest 3S. So there's I actually have both right here. So Quest 3S is this. This is the Quest 3S, and this is the Quest 3. So they're they basically have the same internal processing. The Quest 3S is a little bit bigger, and the lenses themselves are a little bit worse. So here, I'll do that. So the lenses, you can kind of see the rings around. So this is the Quest 3S. You can see the rings around the lenses. They are Fresnel lenses, not pancake lenses. So they kind of are not the best. They are the best if you're looking straight ahead. If you're looking kind of at an angle or like up in your peripheral vision, it starts to get a little blurry, versus the Quest 3S has pancake lenses, what we call pancake lenses. And so they're just like straight up nice. You can see a pretty good field of view with those, but a little more expensive. Quest 3. Those are really the only two I would consider picking between. I wouldn't, if you're really on a budget, get a used Quest 2. You can get those for like $150 on Amazon Marketplace. And I would stay within the Quest, the Meta ecosystem, like the Quest headsets. From the, I would just stay in that ecosystem initially for like your first headset, because that's going to give you the most apps. That's going to allow you to do like try out some PC VR stuff if you have a decent PC, and do a lot of standalone. And then you can kind of branch off into other headsets too, like the Valve Index, even though it's old, is like solid for like a PC VR kind of thing. And if you hate Meta but want to do standalone, you get the Pico headset. Cool. All right. What was I doing? All right, we're doing triggers. So we got 2 trigger boxes. Trigger on players. All right, let's see what the, oh, not that one. That one. Okay, trigger zones. And we're gonna need a new script for each one of these, I bet. What are we calling this? Yeah, create a new script, name it start game trigger and a reset game trigger. How did I know? All right, start game trigger. Go, and then you go under here, and then I'm sure you have, yep, attach start game trigger. There you are. Cool. And then you're gonna need a reset game trigger, I'm sure. Where are you? Okay, yep, you go there, and then reset trigger, reset game trigger. Beautiful. Cool. Lock both of those down. This I hate this. This needs to go away when I click off of it. When I click down here, click, 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 that window should go away. I hate it here. Why are you guys making me try this? just want to go back to Unity where it's comfortable and easy. I know what everything does, how it all works. Yesterday I literally made from scratch procedural hand animations in Unity, and I was gonna make a tutorial about it. Now we're on this Meta Horizon Worlds stuff. So I gotta figure this out, and I'm only one person. I'm just a chill guy. Just trying to make do, trying to figure out what you guys want. Which is actually a good question. Would you rather a Horizon Worlds desktop tutorial or an advanced comprehensive hand animations tutorial for Unity? That is the question. So that's my choice right now. It's like, what do I work on tomorrow while my kid's sleeping and I'm not live streaming and I'm like filming for a video or for a tutorial? Then are more people going to be searching for this? What's going to get me the most views, chat? Come on. It's always the goal. Most views. All right. Inside of these triggers, how do we get this? All right. So we've got a code block event. That was the same thing we were using before. All right. So in the start method, we have a code block event. The code block is listening for an on player enter trigger. So that's like something that's already set up for us. Okay. So start on the code block event. We want the start game trigger. Okay, so in start we have a this dot connect code block event. So we're listening for a code block event. Okay, it's making sense now. All of this code block event, it's all just event based. So they don't want, there's not an update loop that I'm seeing in here. Okay, maybe there's some kind of update loop at some point. Not seen an update loop. It's all listening for events. Like, so code block event, code block event. So we're listening for, okay, so a code block event is whatever that unique entity game object. So if it's a trigger, it'll have its own events on it. Or if it's something else, it'll have, like, you know, when the player enters the world, that kind of thing. Code block event. And then we have other events, like in the GameManager we have a local broadcast event. That's your global events that happen. And then on the gem controller we've got just local events, and so that's events that are specific for a type of entity that we're listening to. It's all starting to come together now. I'm getting it. Okay, so code block event. There's an on-world update code block event. Okay, so that's the, like, every single frame thing. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so we've got a code block. We have this entity, so we're always registering whatever entity is connecting. So that connect is subscribe. Remember, connect is our keyword for subscribe. And then what event are we subscribing? This one is the on. We had to get to it somewhere. Horizon code block events on player trigger enter. Code block events. Okay, so here's all of the events that we could ever listen to. So this is like, you guys, when you're first learning Unity, everyone always, the like biggest question, most asked question when someone's learning how to use Unity code and like the Unity lifecycle, I always point them to the same website, the same documentation site, where it's like literally just a big graph and it like lists all of the lifecycle events in Unity and like what order they happen in. This is the kind of lifecycle events, not the order they happen in, but this is the lifecycle, or all the different events that happen that we can tap into It's all starting to, I'm getting it now. I understand. Okay. Okay, then we can do like on grab stuff in here too. Nice. All right. So items grabbed, player stuff, projectile things. What were we're on player, enter trigger. Cool. All right, and then when that happens, we've got a callback function. And do we get anything in? We get the player. And then we can handle on player enter. Okay. Entered player is hc.player. Okay. And then let's break this up a little bit so it's easier to read. Cool. All right, and then we need a private, what were we calling the method? Handle on player enter. And we're not receiving anything. It's a void and function. And then I'm sure we'll do another event. You can also use a set internal. Trigger won't work, has to be a trigger gizmo. Oh yeah, I have not set up, I don't know if I skipped that part. I hope I didn't skip that part. I have not set up anything with gem. Okay, that's next. Collecting gems. Goodness. It's taking me a minute. Might speed run that part. It's gonna be a while. Do we still have people on? Still have people watching? We do have people watching. I might pause this and finish it up. I gotta go to bed. It's almost 11 o'clock here. All right, we're gonna pause it here. For memory, we're on module 6 of the, whatchamacallit. Module 6 of the gem collection tutorial. We'll come back. We're almost there, but it's getting to the end for me. X always kills me after like 2 hours. It's very rude. Yeah, X will end exactly at the scheduled broadcast ending, which is annoying. My X stream always dies. 5 a.m. over there? Goodness, you're up early on a weekend. Props to you. Pause your game doesn't mean what it used to. Okay, cool. We'll come back to this. We'll come back. I appreciate you for hanging out with me. We will. I'm starting to understand how all of this works. I think this will get faster. I may do a TypeScript like refresher course in the meantime, like tomorrow, because I am rusty on this. This is rough. Cool. Yeah, I'll go to bed. Let's send y'all to different places. Let's try doing a raid or something. Let's see. From Twitch. Software game development. Oh, there we go. VR chat map work. Yeah, that'll work. You guys can go over there. And then on YouTube, I can actually send y'all to different places too. Add a redirect. No. Nobody's live. You guys can go to Pirate Software's Ferret Rescue. There you go. That's the thing that's live right now. Cool. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. We'll come back. I'll see y'all around.